We are live and recording here from Gold Coast, Australia. I love Zach. He does that thing. So we, this is week 1 of our 8-week, we're calling this a program, training system, business training. And we've got 0 people hopping on the call. The aim, is that what you just said?
No, I said we're going to give this a name.
We do have to give this a name. Dream Team Business Training. So the Dream Team Business Training starts today, and recording this will give people the freedom to look at it when they want and take their own notes. So today we're going to be going over the vision that we should have. We're not going to want to do work that we don't need to do unless we have a very strong reason to do it. And so building a strong vision is a really important part of building a business. Some people think just doing the actions is a really important part, and it certainly is, but having the vision is what makes us want to do the actions. So it's kind of like this hidden thing that people forget about, and without strongly developing this first, which is why it's part of the first call, obviously people aren't going to continue building or do the daily tasks, which only take 15 minutes, but we can't be bothered doing because we don't have a strong reason to do it. We're also going to go over, help me out, Kelsey, vision and?
Setting goals.
And setting goals. So I'll be looking after those two. Setting goals, we're going to be talking about the actual numbers, the daily actions that we need to do to achieve certain goals. So we'll talk about some different goals. Obviously, no one else is on these calls today, so we'll end up just discussing, I suppose, our own goals and then some ideal goals that someone who maybe is working a full-time job or studying full-time would be able to fit into their lives. And then you're going to be talking about...
So I'll go through... what did you say? You're going to go through setting goals and vision?
Vision and setting goals.
I'll go through the why and the energy map. So why we're doing what we're doing. It kind of ties in with vision anyway.
Yeah.
And then the energy maps. If once you set your goals, how many hours of the day are you willing to dedicate to certain things?
Awesome. Beautiful. So in terms of vision, I guess I'm going to kind of relate it to people who are already sort of interested in working with us. And I think a lot of us, what we want is some kind of freedom and some kind of financial liberty to be able to achieve and do the fun things that we want in our lives and just take away that stress. I think all of us are really interested in the community aspect and having something to connect to and people to connect to. And I guess the thing I'll start with the most, that's the most important, is these calls. If people can check into these calls, you don't have to wait 2 to 3 months to go to an actual event and get that energy back. So I know a lot of people wait for that event to get that energy boost. But if we actually check into these weekly calls, it's 30 to 45 minutes out of our lives. And basically, we are getting a boost every single week, and not just with our businesses, but with our personal connections with each other, as well as our just general energy for life and how we're feeling, because it's an opportunity to check in with each other. So I would say that in terms of your vision, being part of your vision needs to be connecting with us, with people on these weekly calls, and maybe even a coaching call or a check-in call once a week with either Kelcy or myself as well, to maybe have that midweek kind of check-in in terms of accountability and the actions that we're doing. So building our vision needs to be related to the culture as well. And I think you're gonna help that vision grow, and you're gonna be able to tune in with that vision if you're tuning in with us, the people who help you build your vision, and know what it's like to lose motivation, know what it's like to not want to do the daily tasks. The other aspects that are important in building your vision is having a strong reason why, which Kelsey's going to delve into more. But building a vision is... So I guess vision, you can look at it in 2 ways. Like, you can look at it from the why aspect, your own vision, your own reason for doing things. But I think one thing that's really important is, after having your own vision, is being able to describe that vision to other people. And Kelcy, I think you're really, really good at that. You're very good at sort of describing what your life can look like and building that dream. And we were just talking before about, what will we call this team that's starting to develop? And, we want to branch off and do our own thing and really love on our own team and have each other working together, because we're all financially linked. So there's more than one reason to help each other. And I think Dream Team is a really nice name for it. And the whole point of that is being able to dream and being able to actually cast a vision for ourselves and for other people to create some sort of freedom in our lives where our worlds don't look the way we think it's supposed to look, or we think society tells us the way it's going to look. So being able to cast that vision is one of the really important skills. And one of the things that a lot of network marketers who have success are good at, and one of the things that they do often, is have uncomfortable conversations where they knock people out of their reality and help them to actually start to dream and visualize something that is important to them. So I'll kind of wrap up the vision side of things, because I think you're going to go into a bit more of the why, which is related to it with this task. If we can do a 30-second to 1 minute visualization of what our dream life looks like. And I think when we're starting out, a lot of what we need to do is work on ourselves. We can't help other people if we haven't first gone through the motions of helping ourselves. If we haven't read that personal development book first, how can we go and give people the information they need to go and do their personal development? We can recommend the book. We can link them up with someone else who's had the experience. Absolutely. And that's a great way to leverage your time. And that's what leveraged income in this business is all about. It's using other people in a positive way to help each other and leverage each other's time, knowledge, and experience. So if we can start off by doing daily visualizations, I like to do them first thing in the morning, like literally I'm still in bed, I'm awake, but my eyes are closed, and creating a visualization for where I want to be in 5 years, where I want to be in 1 year, where I want to be right now, even though it's not my reality. I visualize how I feel in that moment, in the moment of I've got my freedom of time. I don't have to get up to go to work. I'm getting up to go do what I want to do. I'm visualizing all of those things to put myself in a place. And the cool thing is our brains can't distinguish the difference between a real experience and this visualization. So we're actually training our brains to think differently and see things differently. And we know that if I say red, 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 you will start to notice the color red more often. So it's the same sort of concept. When we visualize something, we start to notice the things that support that more often. If we start to think negative thoughts more often, then we're going to start noticing the things that support our negative thoughts more often. So just to keep it simple, we want to be able to cast the vision for people. We want to be able to get them to dream. But first, we need to be able to dream ourselves. And to really solidify our dreams, we need to visualize and use visualization. 30 seconds a day is all you need to do. 30 seconds a day. That's so doable. You just need to decide to do that. And when we can visualize what our life actually looks like when we've got what we want, which links into the goal setting thing, I guess, then, and our why, then we are able to then start creating this state of mind where we're becoming the person we want to be, or the person we need to be, to build this epic business, to start helping other people visualize, to help other people dream. So I think maybe the why will be something that'll lead off nicely from that, if you want to continue.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, you summed it up pretty well. I think the thing in order to start building the vision and understanding our why, understanding our value system, understanding what you were saying with how we want to feel, as we wake up each day, it really comes down to why we're doing it. So I'm not going to go too far into this, because there's a video that we'll link you guys for training from Peter Kelly. And she goes through this whole thing, and she goes through understanding that our whole lives we've been conditioned to think a certain way, and we always act from the outside in. So we act from what other people think we should do. Study a degree, do we actually want to do it? It doesn't matter. It's what other people are going to validate us on, or how we're going to eat in different cultures and all these different things. We've lived most of our lives living outside of ourselves, and it's kind of a confronting thing when people tell you that you can have this dream and you can do anything you want, and you're like, oh my God, that's actually overwhelming for a lot of people, because it's like, well, I haven't been taught that, first of all, but like, why would I want to do that when I've always been told, well, it's never been a thing, right? It's not part of the reality. So the why is going to help you build the visual, because at the end of the day, if you're moving from that place, like for me personally, my why is, it's getting clearer. So when I started almost 3 years ago now, my why was very different to what it is today. So knowing that that visualization will change as you grow, as you guys do the self-development, as you grow your mind and your environment and all these different things, your why can change. But for me, the fundamental why is health, right? I want to be in like around communities and stuff, but my why is health. I want people to be healthy. I want people to live in a world where the mindset is a normal thing. You know, earning money where you feel proud of what you're doing is a normal thing. So my why really is that place of service. But for most people, the why could just be like I just want to get through my week and have lots of energy, and that's fine. But understanding why before we're doing the how and the what. So yeah, I can use, you know, this program and I can do all these things and I can build this business, but if I don't know why I'm doing it, then the visualization is not going to be there, because it's not going to help me move the needle. So to make this basic and to just simplify it, the why really is what excites you. So when you guys wake up in the morning, when you go through, when you're hearing things like this compensation plan, you can build this business and do all these things, what excites you about that? And getting very simple and very small. So don't think too big too quickly. You can, but go smaller. So for me right now, it is building my business to the point where I can earn a couple $100s a week or a couple $1,000s a week, or whatever that small goal is. Yeah, I can be earning $1 million, but that's not my why right now, right? So that's a business why. You can have a business why, and then you can have a health why. Well, you know what I've been doing really isn't working out for me, so I'm going to commit to doing self-development. Why? So that's the how and the what, but the why is so that I can grow myself and be a better human being for myself before I can do that for other people. And then the visualization becomes easy, because what excites you is you're growing yourself, you're improving yourself, things are getting easier. You're starting to see a different life for yourself, opportunities are opening up, all these different things are changing. And then your visualization is like, oh my God, who else can I help? What else can I do? Who do I want to serve? What is my life becoming in this world? And really what excites me. So take out the overwhelm, take out the fluff around it, because I think a lot of people can hype it up, and a lot of people can, you can kind of just see stars in your eyes and you know it's possible. But for me, that didn't move me for the longest time. I can see what's possible. It was like what excites me. And to me, as a business model and doing these things excite me because I want to help people, right? For me, it is service, and it's that simple, and it's that basic. But what excites you now, and then what excites you in the long term for your vision. So does that cover everything? I think I did.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I think one of the key points that you made, which, you know, I'm me. I really need to learn lessons hard before I learn lessons. So I need to do my own thing. So I'm not saying that you could have told me, because you probably told me 10 times anyway.
Oh, I did.
Yeah, I know. One of the main things that I had to learn was that, you know, going big is great. And look, honestly, those dreams is what keeps me on fire. Those dreams is why, those dreams are why I have continued, because I know that they're achievable, and I know that I'll get there 5 years, 10 years, 20 years from now. I do not care. I will get to those dreams and live an abundant life of just absolute everything. And it's great, because the person who I'll become along the way is the real reward. But $1 million a year is not a bad thing on the side. But that's not at all where my focus is now. After 2 and a bit years in this, my focus is on just getting a couple of $100 a week coming in residually. And at that point, I'd love to ask you, you know, what do you make roughly now, Kelcy, with me? You know, I guess I'm one of 3 or 4 people you've enrolled on that leg. How are we going for internet? We still good?
Yeah, we're still
disconnected
good.
there.
I think Kaylee joined. Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Well,
yes.
For me, because for me, it's important to be really transparent. And I think this is a really good place to start with the why and stuff, because I think this is the thing that tripped me up, right? Like what you were saying, like I can do all these things, and you can like make such a big deal out of it, but like, why was I doing it? And I think I kind of lost steam after a while. So back then I was probably doing about 200-300 a week, about that, when we started going. And like now I mean, constantly, this is the thing, like consistently I took a year off and consistently I've still earned about $120 a week. And for a lot of people, they'll be like, oh my God, that's nothing. But the thing is, it's been consistent, right? So the work that I did back then, even though we were learning, even though there are so many things that we were changed, I got called back because my why was still there. I still had things to do like you did, and I still had things to uncover, right? And so for me, even earning that like $120 a week, like for me, I was like, hell yeah, I'm not doing anything for this.
Yeah. Yeah.
But to know where it can go, right? Because that $120 or whatever it is, the people, I think, I will say this, right? I think where a lot of people get tripped up is because you can earn the $25,000 a week or whatever it is, right? And you can do all these visualizations, but each week when you realize it's not happening because you're still learning so many things, we don't put enough emphasis on how much we've learned. We put so much emphasis on not being there yet, and that's what trips us up, because we're like, but I'm doing so much, but I'm doing this, but like we're all learning. And I think the appreciation process is like much more important than trying to hit a goal that you may have resistance to because you may not be ready for it yet.
Absolutely.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's been a big lesson for me. So it is starting from the beginning, doing the foundation work, being super transparent, and building, for me, vision now is building a really good culture of like epic people wanting to do amazing things, you know, like
Exactly.
it's just that's what lights me up. Like
Same.
goal.
Like I've been making 50, $60 a week residually for several months now. And, you know, the way I relate that is like, okay, well, if I had how much money do you need? Like 10 grand in the bank to be making that? Wait, that's per month. I'd need like 40 grand in the bank to be making that much interest per month. Like that's the way I see it. And I'm like, this is just money rolling in. Like I haven't done any work to get that money. That's the residual stuff. And so that's very exciting to relate it to that. Where was I going with that? So
I think too with that, like that for me now is the goal, you know. Yeah, like this whole team can be doing all these things, and we will. That is the vision. Like we're all going to get to that point. But even just earning that $50 to $100 a week or whatever it is, and helping people even achieve that much, for me says a lot, because it says you can do something that you never thought you could do. So it's not like, oh my God, I need to be earning all this money to be successful. It's like I can just be successful plugging in, having a vision, doing the work, doing my self-development, being part of a culture, keeping my health in order. Do you know what I mean? Like all these different things. Like there's so many things that are successful. It doesn't necessarily mean earning the big bucks yet.
Exactly. Yeah. And what's really cool is that, you know, just going, oh, I can make $50 a week residually.
Yeah.
I can obviously then make more if I just repeat what I've already done. So that's the exciting part. It's like, okay, this is possible. This is doable. It's just a matter of continuing to do the work I did to get to that point and do it again. So that's what I found really interesting. And the reason I asked you that is because I was wanting to sort of show that, again, the residual income, it's extremely powerful. It's just like owning interest in a bank, but a lot more money. Also, you know, where do you start? You don't start at $1,000 a week. You know, it's a great goal to have. And, you know, that's, I guess, my next big goal is to replace my teaching wage, which is about $1,000 a week after tax. So, you know, if I've got that coming in with Isogenics, I don't need to teach anymore. You know, I might and do both for a while, but, you know, that's a great, you know, big goal to aim for, not this 25 grand a week stuff, even though that's the ultimate goal. So, you know, how do we really strip that back and go, okay, well, where do we start with our goals? How do we set our goals? What do the numbers look like? And, you know, despite these big goals that we have in mind, where should we start? And really 1 to 2 cycles a week should be everyone's starting point. And it's really important to have goals, but it's also extremely important to make sure that we aren't hyper focusing on those goals for everything you just said. You know, we get so tied up in the goal and we're like, oh, I haven't reached the goal. You get super, you know, disappointed and you start to lose motivation and everything, which is an awesome opportunity to grow, but it could be avoided in the first place because if we just focus on doing the actions, we focus our time and energy and our thoughts on the actions, then we don't need to focus on the goals and get disappointed each time we don't hit them. So let's just say 1 or 2 cycles is your goal, $50 to $100. I call it 50. I like to round down. I'm like that, but you know, 60 to 100, 60 to $100, you know, 60 to $120 a week coming in, 1 to 2 cycles coming in a week. You need to have between 900 to, let's just say 1,000 to roughly 2,000 BV coming through your business center every week. So what does that look like? An initial order is roughly 300 BV. So 3 initial orders a week would be about 1 cycle. Or, let's say 200 is a reasonable estimation for a reorder for someone who's still doing the program wholeheartedly. So that would be roughly about 5 to 6 people, let's just say 5 people a week ordering to get your goal of about 1 cycle per week. So to have 5 people ordering every week, we need about 20 people ordering a month, because these are monthly auto ships. So how do you get 20 people in your organization? Let's just start with 1 cycle, 20 people reordering a month. So we're talking about purely residual. We haven't signed anyone up. We're not doing any work recruiting people. We're not doing any work doing any of that, because Kelcy and I have been talking about this 20 and 30. This Eric Warre has taught us a really awesome method to implement in our businesses, where we spend 1 month hyper-focusing all that energy on recruiting, which can be quite tiring. And it's called the 20 and 30. So recruiting 20 people in 30 days. And then focusing the rest of the time coaching them and looking after them and really giving them that 5-star service, that really high quality experience with these premium products and premium coaching, because we get to leverage all the people in our team who are amazing, amazing people, millionaires, health coaches, mindset coaches. We've got Zach. He's absolutely in love with all sorts of herbs and nutrition and everything. Nutrition can just be completely taken care of by him. So, and then, me and, would you consider yourself vegan? Plant-based at least, right? So,
Yeah.
Kelcy and I, the vegan plant-based lifestyle approach as well, we've got everyone with different niches. So leveraging all of that is really important. So drawing back to the goals, when you're goal setting with Isogenics, there's a lot of different ways to set goals. Having a cycle goal is probably the most powerful one, because the cycles are the powerful part of the money. Signing up 2 people in 1 week, getting them started on, let's say, an ultimate pack, which is the ultimate goal. We're looking at $200 in bonuses per person. That's $400. If this is your first sign up as well, you're getting $50 for this consultant bonus. So you're looking at, $450, almost $500, and you're probably going to be pretty close to a cycle on top of that. So 500 plus for signing up 2 people. Like, that is such an awesome bonus. Some people work all week long at a really not enjoyable job, let's say 30 hours, to make that sort of money, $500. And all you've done is send messages to 10 to 20 people, and 2 people have been interested and eventually signed up. Or done a launch party and 5 people have come, and 2 people have actually really seen what this is about, and the fact that there's a 30-day money back, and gone, what the hell, I'll give it a go. Give me the ultimate pack. So, those goals are powerful as well, making $550, 500 plus in a week. But the residual, when you're getting $50 to $100 a week every week for 52 weeks, that's where you're getting 5,000 plus a year of residual money. This is where the power is. So I really like to set my goals based on residual income. So just drawing back, we're talking about 1 cycle a week. We need about 20 people in our business ordering a month. So how do you get 20 people in your business? The great thing about the business and the binary system, where we've got 2 legs, is that, for example, Kelcy is above me. When she enrolls someone, she has to enroll someone below me and below all the other people that I've enrolled. So if I enrolled someone on Tuesday, Kelcy has to, and Kelcy's enrolling someone on Wednesday on this leg, Kelcy has to enroll them underneath that person, because that's the next available position in that tree. So the whole point of this leveraged income system is that we're able to actually leverage each other's time, customers, and efforts. So we get to coach together, but we also get to literally build a customer base together. So building 20 people in your business can quite easily look like enrolling 3 or 4 people, maybe 5 people. And you can have this 50 to 100 roughly dollars coming in a week with these residual cycles. So how do we get these 5 or 6 people enrolled in our business? The way it looks is consistent action. And one method that we really love to use is 3 by 3 by 3. And that's adding 3 people to your network every day, following up with 3 people every day, and sharing isogenics with 3 people every day. And look, if you're super busy, this can be 1 by 1 by 1. If you're super hungry, this can be 6 by 6 by 6. There's no limit to this. And that's the whole beauty of this business system, is that we are able to actually adapt this to our lifestyle. But first, we need to cast a vision for ourselves. We then need to have some sort of discipline and routine involved, which is this goal setting phase. And we need to know our why, so that when we don't want to do these actions, we are very clear on why we're doing them and why we want to keep doing them. So if we just assume something like 1 by 1 by 1, the bare basics. So every day you're following up with someone who's on your list, which requires managing a list, which we'll teach you in other videos. And you are sharing isogenics with 1 new person from your list. So let's say you build a list of 100 people. All you need to do is just go down that list. And it's going to take you 100 days to contact 100 people. And you're going to share it with 100 people, which is amazing, because within 100 people and following up with those 100 people, you're going to have people interested. There are people looking for health. There are people looking for wealth. There are people looking for more energy, better sleep, and all of that, without a doubt. So this, I guess, can't be a goal setting call to really help you set specific goals for your goals, because it's just me and Kelcy here. But whilst you're listening to this, start to think about, how much time do you have? Do you have time to do 3 by 3 by 3? Do you have time to do 1 by 1 by 1? Can you add 1 person to your list every day? New person. Can you share isogenics with 1 person every day? Asking for a referral. Hey, I've been doing this thing. Do you know anyone who might be interested? Like, it's that easy. It's that easy. Can you not do that every single day? Like, how easy is it to send a copy paste message of a referral? For me, this is just the bare minimum, easiest thing that you could possibly do, is share a referral with 1 person every day for 100 days. So over 3.5 months, you've got these 100 people who you shared isogenics with for taking 10 to 30 minutes out of your day. So I guess the whole point of this goal setting section for me is showing you how easy it can be, breaking down the numbers, and breaking down this goal to what I think everyone's first goal should be: making 1 to 2 cycles a week, building a customer base of 5 to 6 personally enrolled customers, and roughly, 10 to 15 customers that have been enrolled by your upline, or maybe even someone underneath you who shared with you. For example, Kelcy's got an extra 70 people in her business just because she got coffee with me one day. One conversation, the first time we met, lit me the fuck up and just blew my mind. Network marketing, I knew it was for me. I was just all in from the get-go, had no idea what I was doing, completely excited. But 2.5 years later, here I am with 70 people, 74 people in my downline that Kelcy's added a handful to, and I've added the rest. So it's pretty interesting to realize that 1 person that you have a coffee date with could absolutely blow up your business. I'm not saying I've done that, but I will. And other people have done that. People have taken this and absolutely run with it. So
and also, to give a picture on my other leg, all up, I have about 260 people now, and I've only enrolled about 8 people.
Like, you shouldn't be in this to get lucky, but you can get lucky with that. And Kelcy's put in the work. Like, I'm not to say that Kelcy hasn't done any work. It's just that's the leverage system working well. That's not the leverage system working at its best, but it's the leverage system working well, where we have people coming into our business because of the people above us, the people below us, and the work that specific individuals do in our business. It might be 1 in 100, it might be 1 in 200, but the people that do the work in our business, this is how we get to work together, build that leveraged income. And starting off, we need to start with those small goals. How do you get 5 to 6 people into your business? 1 person every day for 100 days. 1 follow-up, 1 new contact, 1 new share.
Can we also add in, how lately you've been doing more of the morning routines and all that kind of stuff? Can you talk more about that in setting goals mindset goals as well. So while you're going
Absolutely.
through and
Yeah,
you're talking to people and you're learning, which we'll go through in the next couple of weeks, learning those skills and
for
how to
sure.
talk to people and all
Yeah.
of that, how important is it to also do the self-development side?
Absolutely. Well, like I said, we need a strong why, we need a vision, because otherwise we're going to stop doing these tasks that we set ourselves, for example, the one by one by one. But not only that, to be able to continue having the determination to do that, we need to start working on our mindset. For example, Tom and I have been working on healthy mind and body, not every day, but almost every day. And, this is helping us build our mindset to become the person we need to be. 2 and a bit years into this, I'm not the person who I used to be because of the books I've read, because of the things that I've done, because of these things that I've implemented, these morning routines, 3 times a week, moving my body, sticking to the Isogenics program, having better sleep, energy, and more confidence because of my routine structure with the Isogenics nutritional system. So doing a cleanse day once a week. So these side goals that we have with our health, with our mindset, are also extremely, extremely important for us to continue to move forwards as a person, to continue to increase our skills. For example, if you're watching this and you're like, I don't really want to do any of this work, why not? It's because you probably don't have the skills. You either don't have the skills, or what was the other reason, Kelsey? You don't have the skills, or
I forget now.
There's
Yeah.
usually 2 reasons someone doesn't do something. It's because they don't have the skills, or another reason. It's not I don't want to, it's something else. Anyway, so the most
Oh, because I
important
don't know
thing,
how.
because I don't know how.
Or is that no?
That's a skill one. Because they don't know how.
Oh, they don't want to, or they don't know how.
They don't want to, or they don't know how. Okay, it is don't want to. Cool. So 2 pretty simple basic reasons. And so when we as coaches come and check in with you, we can be like, okay, cool. Do you want to do this? Yeah, I want to build a freaking business. Otherwise, why would you be sticking around? Why would you be on a call with us? And then the second question is, well, obviously you don't know how, you don't have the skills. So what do you need? You need to ask us for books. What book recommendations should we give you? Or do we have for you? What videos do we have for you to train your mindset, for you to train your skills in contacting people? Do you know how to write up a referral? No. Then we can send you a referral script. Do you know how to ask someone to share a video? Maybe not. So we can send you a script or a technique to use to do that. So the really important thing with goal setting, other than having the tasks and starting with small goals and then making the tasks that you need to achieve those small goals, the really important thing is to also be working on your mindset and have goals based on daily actions of what you can do realistically to achieve that. So I look at my my time that I don't use, my unproductive time, no, my passive time. So say I'm vacuuming, say I'm cooking, say I'm driving, some of those things you might really want to get into, exercising, you might really want to just be present, be in the moment. But surely you can find some passive moments in your day where you've got 20 minutes and you can watch a YouTube video. For example, high school teacher, on my lunch duties, I chuck in one Bluetooth headphone and I listen to an audiobook whilst I'm walking around, just making sure the kids aren't going too crazy. So we can really leverage that time. And if we're not leveraging that time, we're wasting our time. We are wasting opportunities to learn and grow. And we're just waiting to become the person that we want to be, as opposed to actively pursuing that. And waiting just means we're putting that date backwards and backwards. So if you think you're too busy, if you think you don't have enough time for something, that's a lie and you're lying to yourself. You actually do have that time. You just need to find it and you need to commit to doing it. It's making a decision in yourself that you actually want to achieve these goals, which draws back to the vision, which draws back to the why. So goal setting comes in a bunch of forms.
Energy map. Yeah.
And it's not just the tasks that we do and our simple small goals to start with, but it's also the tasks that we give ourselves for personal development, daily habits, morning routines, all those sorts of things, which again, Kelcy and I can help you with.
Yeah, sorry, that is, wait, I lost my thought. Oh my God, cleanse days. Sorry, wait, let me gather my thoughts. Yeah. So when you go through all that kind of stuff and setting up your routines, all of this kind of ties into each other. So we're going to run through a quick energy map, which I will draw up like a little template and we can send that to everyone that's going to join this call. But it's just about like Stephen says, if we say we don't have the time for anything, or you know, this, it sounds like a wonderful idea, but like, I don't know how I'm going to fit this in. That really, it's just stretching the mind, right? It's stretching the mind, it's stretching and creating the foundation. So like, if life gets crazy, we always have the foundation to come back to, right? And I think this is where a lot of people, if you don't have daily things set in place and something happens, the foundation can be pulled out from underneath you, because you're like, well, I wasn't supporting myself anyway, so what's the point? And then we're going to spiral, right? So knowing how much energy we have for different things, you know, like for me, I need a lot of like quiet time, as well as busy time, as well as going to work, as well as eating really well. And so for me, I plan my days based specifically around my personality, because like everyone's different. So yeah, I'll probably hold up a little thing like this because I wrote it out. I don't know if you can see it. Is that clear?
Yeah, I like that. Go a little bit further away.
That way?
That's perfect, but just go out a little.
Oh yeah.
And we've got
yeah.
energy map, and I can't quite read the other stuff. What does that say? It says...
I'll read that now.
Yeah.
So basically what this is, right, it's a clock. So you're gonna draw a circle and then just draw a clock. You can go 12 to 11. So you can draw the 12-hour clock or a 24-hour clock. And then basically on the side, you're going to write out these things. So you can either take different colors to highlight this, but roughly what a work day looks for you. So you're going to highlight how much time you spend eating, how much time you spend sleeping, how much time you relax. Or everyone's going to be like, well, you know, if you ever have like a spare time, you can do all these things. Like, that's overwhelming for me. So my brain goes, no thanks. Like, I need very designated time to do these things. So yeah, how much time you're going to be doing self-development stuff. So I would say, if you guys are doing healthy mind and body, that's really important. And reading a book as well. So how many books do you want to read in 1 year? That's part of goal setting, right? And then what time are you allocating to read those books, right? Because we can be like, oh yeah, I want to read these books, and then we never do it because we don't have time, correct? But it's all
Absolutely.
a mindset thing. We all have 24 hours in a day. What are we doing with that time? So yeah, just basically go out, and you can call it the energy map, you can call it whatever you want, and start mapping this out. What do you do? How much time do you sleep? How much time do you eat? How much time do you spend at work? What can you do whilst you're at work? Like Stephen, if he's listening to an audiobook, how can you do those things, right? So you can write out the list of things that you want to get done in your day, and then map out your energy for that whole day. So for me, I want to stop working by 5 p.m. because it's a long day for me, right? But I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning most days, 5:30, right? So for me, the morning for me is waking up. I'm going to do my journaling, my meditation, my visioning. I'm going to get all of that out the way, right? Because these are all my foundation. When I take them out, I can't do anything else because I just get lost. So it's moving my body, it's exercise, it's walking the dogs, it's having breakfast, and then I start work at 9, right? So then I spend my morning doing all my business stuff, and then the afternoons I go to tutoring, because I'm tutoring children in the afternoons at the moment. So that's what my day looks like. And in between, I'm doing the 1 by 1 by 1 or the 3 by 3 by 3. I'm doing that grid, and then I'm also doing everything else in my task as well. But it's my personal energy map, and I'm committed to doing those things so I actually get them done. Because I know I'll never say I don't have enough time to do that, because I know what my time looks like. So I'll make up a little template, unless you guys, as you're listening to this, you kind of like draw it out, you can do it, but I can make up a little template to send out if that's easy, just with all the different parts, like sleeping, eating, to jog the memory and stuff. But yeah, then that's going to fit in with your overall vision, your why, how you're setting those goals, how you're letting everything kind of intertwine and mix together, because they're all, you can't have one without the other. They're all gonna, you know, work together. So the energy map's going to help you bring everything together and make it seem easy.
Beautiful. And I just want to interject that this might not seem important if you're someone like me from 2 years ago. But I promise you, from 2 years of actual experience, that if you're not doing these things, this is what you're going to experience. You're going to experience complete frustration. You're going to experience the highs and lows of wanting 25 grand a week in your bank account. and getting nothing. And you're going to experience sporadic moments of work that are wasted because you're not setting yourself up with a routine where you then have the follow-up. The fortune is in the follow-up. And so all the effort you put in the beginning is completely wasted because you're not following the person up, because you don't have a structure, because you don't have an hour devoted or half an hour devoted or 15 minutes devoted every single day between 8 and 8:15 p.m. when you've finished your dinner and you've got the time to do some specific focused work on your one by one by one. If you don't have the structure, if you don't have a set alarm clock 5 to 6 times a week, if you don't have a set time to do this work every single day or 5 times a week, you are setting yourself up for failure. You are better off just casually doing self-development and personal development, working on your physique, focusing on taking the products and using them well. You are better off focusing on a quick 2 or 1 week burst of inviting people before an event, a major event every 2 to 3 months. And you're better off focusing on going to celebration and UIA events, David Wood events, because you might eventually sign up people here or there, but you're not going to coach them properly and they're going to fall off. You are you are going to spend so much time doing so much work that you're going to get disheartened and either quit this profession because your why isn't strong enough, or you're just going to feel completely frustrated and tired and like maybe you're not going to feel like a failure, but you're going to feel really frustrated for a long period of time. And here are some things to combat that. If you're like me and you don't want to listen to Kelcy, you don't want to structure, you don't want a time to wake up every morning, and you don't want to do your daily routines, this is bringing back memories, isn't it? Then here are some things to combat that. And by the way, some of you listening to this, I know that you are super structured and very competent at doing these things, but I also know that a couple of you listening to this are not. So, because I know myself and I can recognize myself in other people. So some things to combat that: have a structure. Go to uni every day. Go to work every day. Have a structure where your time becomes limited because of a prior commitment that takes up most of your time. When you only have 3 or 2 hours of free time a day because you've got to cook, you've got to travel, you've got to go to work, then your time becomes precious. And now if you want to work on this business, you only have a limited amount of time to do it. So this energy wheel is a very, very awesome exercise to do that. And if you don't feel like doing it and you feel like it's not going to benefit you, you're wrong. But I speak of that from personal experience. So just trust us, be coachable, and follow the 1 by 1 by 1 system, because that will get you 5 to 6 enrollments within 6 months. That's residual income.
Too, like,
now,
I had this like thought where people always go like, what's the secret to this whole thing? And it's kind of like asking like, what's the magic secret to life? And you're just like, there is really no one answer, but the thing that's always consistent is foundation, right? It's like, no matter what happens, if I have the thing where I come back to, where I have a business structure and I have my health routine, and and that it's changeable, like feel free, you guys can like change whatever you want whenever you want. Like now I'm going through a phase, I'm like, I don't want to do that at that time, so I change my energy map, right? Because you also have to circulate your energy.
Absolutely.
But it's like the magic secret to anything. This is going to give you consistency. This is going to give you passion. Like it's kind of like when people go, oh, I'm an artist, I only work when I feel the spark. Rubbish. You don't do that. I'm an artist. You don't do it when you feel the spark. You do it when you allocate the time for that creativity to come through, because like eventually when you have that set time to come in, it's going to come in, right? So for me, enrolling 8 people but still earning $100 to $120 a week, it was the consistency, right? I wanted to show up, I wanted to train people, I wanted to teach people, I wanted to do all these things, and everything else was still happening in the background. I was still, which I am today, I'm still like, health is a very big value to me. Mindset is a very big value to me. And these are going to be the things, it's the magic secret, because no matter if you're earning at $100, $1,000, $25,000, it does not matter who you are, who you choose to show up to be, how you choose to flow your energy is everything. And this is why we make it number 1, because it's something that you're always going to come back to. it's the magic secret to life, let alone this business.
Awesome. Great. I think we covered things really well. I'll just summarize my vision thing. So with your vision, doing a routine of visualization every day, 30 seconds, start to build that dream. Start to dream. It's not going to look the same a week later. It's not going to look the same a month later. You're going to start doing this 30 seconds every day, first thing when you wake up or at some other allocated point in time, and you are gradually going to create your dream visualization. Just start, do it, and make it better next time. Just build from where you left off. This is going to lead you to be able to help other people dream, to help other people see and catch the vision of leveraged income, the vision of optimal health, the vision of being part of a community and a culture, and going for it in life, just being our best version, being great, not good. Good's boring, good's average. We want to be great. We want a great life. And in terms of goal setting, we really need to start small. We've seen what's possible. We've watched people come up on stage. We've heard the stories. We've seen the people with the amazing transformations. We need to be consistent, doing small actions and focusing on the task. You want to lose 5 kilos? Do a cleanse day every Thursday. Do your 2 shakes every day. Start learning and looking at those healthy meals. You want $100 of residual income every week? Do one by one every single day. You have 15 minutes at some point in your day where you can knuckle down, focus on nothing else but this. And you've got Kelcy and I to leverage and so many other people. So your goal setting needs to be along those lines, keeping it short and sweet and simple and realistic for what you can achieve consistently over time. And then don't forget to do the mindset work where you're doing daily habits of some kind, where you are building a better you, where you're progressing. And honestly, if you can commit to 10 to 15 minutes of journaling every day, the Healthy Mind and Body program is so worth it. But there's so many other options, audiobooks, YouTube videos, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah, 100%. And then I guess a summary on my end would just be, I'm going to link, can we link my website where it has PK's video, and the recording and stuff will be up of this will be up on there as well. But that's going to link to the worksheet on finding your why, what excites you. She talks through all that kind of stuff. It's just a really good training to reference.
Yeah.
And then energy map, like you said, once you've got your vision, all that kind of stuff, how much energy do you have left in your day for certain tasks and habits, and what are you committing to make it happen?
That's a tool to find that 15 minutes. Where are you going to put that 15 minutes in your day? Where are you going to have the energy for it? Great call, Kelcy. Thanks. Let's leave it there. We don't want to take up too much time with people, but obviously week 2 is next week, and whether people are on it or watching the recording, we'll have lots more value to add before we start teaching the solid skills of how do you do network marketing, so that you know how to do the one-by-one and whatnot.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Thank you.
No worries.